Okay. Now now start page number 22 for volume 4. Problem number 165. A solid sphere of radius r and mass m is spinning about a diameter as axis with a speed omega 0. The temperature of the sphere increases by 100 degrees centigrade without any other disturbance. If the coefficient of linear expansion of material of the sphere is 2 into 10 power minus 4, then the ratio of angular speed at 100 degrees centigrade and omega. Okay. Now, it is given that a sphere of mass m, radius r, and angular velocity omega 0. Okay. When the temperature is increased by 100 degree, that means delta T is 100 degrees centigrade, without any other disturbance, that means without any change in its mass, the coefficient of linear expansion of the material alpha is 2 into 10 power minus 4 per degree centigrade. Then the ratio of angular speeds at 100 degrees centigrade and omega 0. So assume that the angular velocity at 100 degrees centigrade is omega 1. Assume that it is omega 1. Now, as we know, by the law of conservation of angular momentum, we have I1 omega 1 is equal to I2 omega 2. Okay. But I1 omega 1, so take it these quantities as 1, these quantities as 2. So I1, that means for any body it is proportional to mr square omega 0 is equal to m r2 square omega 2. So m will, there is no change in the mass given that there is no other disturbances. So we can write like this. Now we are asked to find the ratio angular speed at 100 degrees to angular speed at omega 0. So we have to calculate omega 2 by omega 0. So that is r2 square, r1 square by r2 square. But r2 can be, because given alpha and the change in temperature, we can write it as r1 square by r1 square into 1 plus alpha delta t whole square. Okay. Now cancel out this. Therefore, omega 2 by omega 0 is equal to 1 by 1 alpha. Alpha means this one, 2 into 10 power minus 4 into delta t 100 whole square. That is 1 by 1 plus, and this is 100 means 10 power minus 2. 2 into 10 power minus 2 whole square. That is 1 by 1 plus 10 power minus 2 means 0.02 whole square. That is 1 by 1.02 whole square. So this is approximately 1 by 1.04. So the ratio is 1 is to 1.04. Now the next one, 174. A pendulum clock runs fast by 5 seconds per day at 20 degrees centigrade and goes slow by 10 seconds per day at a 35 degrees centigrade. It shows correct time at a temperature of. Okay. Now, a pendulum clock runs fast by 5 seconds per day at 20 degrees centigrade and goes slow by 10 seconds per day at 35 degrees centigrade. So, it shows correct time at a temperature. Now so assume that a pendulum clock goes fast or slow by per second, it will be 1 by 2 alpha delta t. This is per second. So, if you calculate per day, it is multiplied by 86400. This is the formula. So, if the pendulum clock runs fast by 5 seconds, okay, runs fast means time period is less. So, time period is decreased means temperature is decreased, because for a pendulum clock length is proportional to time period. Okay. So, for the first case we can write this equation as assume that it shows correct time at a temperature T. Okay. Now, for the first case, it runs fast by 5 seconds per day. So, assume that this is the correct temperature, the temperature at which it shows correct time. So, we can write this first equation as half alpha T minus 20 is equal to into 86400 is equal to 5 seconds difference. For the second case, half alpha 35 minus T into 86400 equal to 10. Okay, that is because it goes slow by 10 seconds per day at 35 degrees centigrade. Now, from these two equations, divide one equation with another one. So, this 864 cancel, half alpha will get cancelled. From this equation, T minus 20 by 35 minus T equal to 5 by 10 implies 10T minus 200 is equal to 165 minus 5T. Now, from this 5T is equal to 365, 15T is equal to 565. So, T equal to 365 by 15. Okay. So, cancel out with 5 7 35 5 3 73 by 3. This is approximately 24 point something, means approximately 25 degrees centigrade. Now, the next one. If the coefficient of linear expansion changes from alpha 1 to alpha 2 linearly in a rod of length L, the increase in length for 10 degree rise of temperature. Here, the coefficient of expansion changes. That changes, the problem number is 179. It changes from alpha 1 to alpha 2. Okay. That means the average we can take in such cases, we will take the average of these two. That means average coefficient is alpha plus alpha 2 by 2. Okay. For a, what is the answer here? For a rod of length L, increase in temperature 10 degrees centigrade, find the rise in temperature. So, rise in temperature for a rod of length L, the increase in length means L2 minus L1 equal to L1 alpha T delta T. So, here we have to calculate this increase in length. So, that equal to initial length L into alpha value, we have to take this value, average value, that is alpha 1 plus alpha 2 by 2 for a change of temperature 10 degrees centigrade. So, this is 5L into alpha plus alpha 2. Now, page number 24. Problem number 180. A thin circular metal disc of radius 500 millimeter is set rotating about a central axis normal to its plane. Upon rising its temperature gradually, the radius increases to 507.5 millimeter. The percentage change in the rotational kinetic energy will be. Okay. A thin circular metal disc of radius 500. So, given R1 is 500 millimeter, radius of that particular one, metal disc. And upon increasing the temperature, its radius increases to 507. So, R2 is equal to 507.5 millimeter. Okay. Now, calculate the percentage change in its rotational kinetic energy. Okay. Percentage change in rotational kinetic energy. Actually, rotational kinetic, linear kinetic energy is half mv square, whereas rotational kinetic energy is k is equal to half I omega square. That means in place of mass we have to take moment of inertia, in place of velocity we have to take angular velocity, so that we will get rotational kinetic energy, that is half I omega square. This can be written as k is equal to L square by 2I, similar to kinetic energy equal to square of momentum by 2m. So, similarly here square of angular momentum by 2I. So, where angular momentum of the system remains constant. So, if we take L as constant, so delta k by k is equal to 1 by 2 into, actually it is inverse. So, we can write minus delta I by I. Okay. But delta I by I, how we can write it is, now I we know mr square. I is equal to mr square. So, we can write delta I by I is equal to, we will write like this, delta I is equal to m 2r delta r. So, if we divide it by I on both sides, here on right, here we have I is equal to mr square, I is mr square. So, m will get cancelled, r will get. So, delta I by I is equal to 2 delta r by r. Now, substitute here, this equal to minus half into delta I by I, we can write like this, 2 delta r by r. So, cancel out this. So, delta r means change in the radius to initial radius r. So, this equal to minus change in 1. So, 507.5 minus 500 divided by 500. So this is equal to, we can write 7.5 divided by 500. Okay. Here we have to calculate percentage change. So this is fractional change. Percentage change means we have to calculate delta k by k into 100. That means this is delta k by k. So into 100. So delta k by k into 100 is equal to, we have to multiply this 100. 7.5 by 500 into 100. Actually it is minus sign. Okay. Minus. So 500 will get cancelled. That is minus 7.5 by 5. One minute. One minute. Okay, 1 minute. Here there is no 2 here. Okay. As 2 is constant, okay. dk by k is equal to, delta k by k equal to minus delta I by I. Okay, this one only. So that equal to minus 2 delta R by R. So okay. So we have to multiply it with 2 into 2. That is 1.5 by 5. That is 0.3%. Now 187. Page number 25. A rod of length 20 centimeter is made of metal. It expands by 0.075 centimeter when its temperature is raised from 0 degrees to 100 degrees centigrade. Another rod of different metal B having same length expands by 0.045 centimeter for the same change in temperature. A third rod of same length is composed of two parts. One part is of metal A and other part of metal B. This rod expands by 0.06 centimeter for the same change in temperature. The portion of A made metal A has length. Okay. The given problem is a rod of length 20 centimeter made of metal A expands by 0.075 centimeter. Okay. Now, another rod of same length 20 centimeter made with metal B expands by 0.045 centimeter. Okay. So, this is a rod of metal A of length 20 centimeter, and this is the expansion of metal B for the same temperature, for the same change in temperature. So, that change in temperature delta T is 100 minus 0 degrees centigrade, that is 100 degrees centigrade. That means metal A rod of metal A of 20 centimeter, on heating to 100 degree, from 0 to 100 degrees centigrade, it expands by 0.75. Similarly, metal B of same length 20 centimeter for same change in temperature expands by 0.05 centimeter. Now, another rod made of same length 20 centimeter but composed of two parts. It is made with two parts, metal A and metal B. One part is of metal A and one part is metal B, but the total length is 20 centimeter only. Same, again heating to the same temperature difference of 100 degrees centigrade, this particular rod expands by 0.060 centimeter. Now, the question is, what is the length of the portion of metal A in the combined rod? That means here, what is the length of this rod A? Okay. So, you have to find this length A of this rod A in this particular metal. So, how we can solve this problem? Okay. Now, assume that this particular third rod is made with metal A and metal B. So, one part is of metal A, other part is of metal B. Assume that length of metal A is x in that particular rod, so that the remaining is 20 minus x. Okay. So, the length of metal A in this particular 20 centimeter rod is x, and the remaining B is 20 minus x. Our question is to find this x. How we can find? Now, first we find the linear coefficients of these two rods. So, first assume that alpha A is the linear coefficient of metal A and alpha B is the linear coefficient of metal B. Now, alpha A we can write alpha A is equal to change in length is 0.075 divided by initial length 20 into change in temperature, this one. Actually, alpha is equal to L2 minus L1 by L1 into delta T. Okay. So, here the change in length is this one, 20 is initial length and delta T. So, delta T is 100 degrees centigrade. So, this can be written as 1, 2, 3, 4, that is 75 into 10 to the power minus 4 minus 3 divided by this 2 into 10 to the power 3. So, it can be written as 75 by 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 per degree centigrade. Now, this is alpha A. Similarly, we can calculate for alpha B also. So, alpha B, the change in length is 0.045 centimeter. So, 0.045 divided by 20 into same 100. So, this can be writing in the similar manner, we can write 45 by 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 per degree centigrade. Now we have alpha and beta. Okay. Now, coming to this combined rod. Now, when this particular rod is heated, both metal A and metal B expand, but the expansions of A and B are not equal. We do not know whether they expand equally or not, because they won't expand equally, because their coefficients of linear expansions are different. So, but the total expansion is equal to 0.06. So, now first calculate the expansion of A and expansion of B. For A the initial length is x, for B the initial length is 20 minus x. So, the expansion of A is from this formula expansion, that means L2 minus L1 is equal to, we can write L1 into alpha delta t. This is the formula. So, now first we calculate for x. For A, metal A, x is the initial length, alpha A already we have calculated from this equation. So, and for metal B, we have to substitute alpha B and length is 20 minus x. So, this total expansion is 0.06. So, now first the expansion of x is x into metal A, initial length is x, alpha A into delta t plus 20 minus x, this is the initial length of metal B, into alpha B into delta t. This is the total expansion, and this is given as 0.06, and this is equal to, we can write it as 60. 0.060. Okay, or we can write this as 60 10 to the power minus 6 is equal to x into alpha A, already we have calculated this, 75 by 2 10 to the power minus 6 into 100 plus this one 20 minus x into alpha B, this one 45 by 2. 45 by 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 into 100. So, 10 to the power minus 6 will get cancelled. This is 60 is equal to 75x by 2 into 100 plus this one 20 minus x into 45 by 2 into 100. So, 100 will get cancelled 0. So, taking 2 into this, 12 is equal to this 10. So, writing this 10 at this place, can directly write 75x plus 20 minus x into 45. That is 75x plus 900 minus 45x. That is total, this is 35x sorry. So, this is not 10 to the power minus 6, this is 10 to the power minus 3. Okay. 10 to the power minus 3. So, we can write like this. 10 to the power minus 6 into 100 plus 20 minus x into 45 by 2, 10 to the power minus x into 100. So, 10 to the power minus x, 6 into 100 is 10 to the power minus 4, here it is also 75x into 10 to the power minus 4 plus by 2, 20 minus x 45 into 10 to the power minus 4 by 2. So, 10 to the power, this is 60 into 10 to the power minus 3. So, minus 3 will get cancelled here, minus 1, minus 1. So, when this minus 1, this is 600 is equal to 75 by 2, okay, 2 into 75x plus 20 minus x into 45, that is 75x plus 900 minus 45x, that is 30x plus 900 is equal to 1200. So 30x equal to 1200 minus 900, that is 300, x equal to 10, so 10 centimeters. That means to have an expansion of this one, the part of A in this particular metal is of 10 centimeter. Now 195. An equilateral triangle ABC is formed by joining three rods of equal length, and D is the midpoint of AB. The coefficient of linear expansion of AB is alpha, and for AC and BC is alpha 2. The relation between alpha 1 and alpha 2 if the distance DC remains constant for all changes in temperature. Okay. Now the given question is this is page number 26, problem number 195. So an equilateral triangle is formed by like this. An equilateral triangle is formed like this. An equilateral triangle is formed like this, and given the names A, B, C, and D is placed at a particular point D like this. This is D, this is C, and this AB, the expansion of AB, okay, AB is made of one material whose linear coefficient is alpha 1, and BC are made of same material whose linear coefficient is alpha 2. Okay, but AB length, BC length and CD length, AC length are equal. So here this is L, this is L, this is L, because it is equilateral triangle. So that on heating this particular system, this will expand, this will expand, this will expand, but the expansion of these two is same, but it is different. But to maintain this particular distance DC always constant, even though there is expansion, this particular distance DC to remain constant, what is the relation between alpha 1 and alpha 2? Okay. Now how we can solve this is, now what is this length of DC from this triangle? DC is equal to, actually all these three are equilateral triangles, so all these sides are equal. So if this is L, this means L by 2, this is L. So this is, so from triangle DBC we can write BC square equal to DC square plus DB square. So we want DC square. So DC square is equal to BC square minus DB square. Okay, that is BC square is L square minus DB square, that is L by 2 whole square, that is L square by 4. So this is the length DC. So to remain this length DC constant, so that, DC is equal to square root of L square minus L square by 4. Okay, now for a particular temperature delta T, assume that there is a change in temperature delta T. So these lengths increases. So this length increases differently from this length. So okay. So in this length BC part is L square. Okay. So for that DC is equal to, again you have to remind, DC is equal to square root of L square into 1 plus alpha, because this part has alpha 2, okay, alpha 2 delta T whole square, alpha 2 delta T whole square minus again this length is L square by 4 into 1 plus alpha 1 delta t whole square. Okay. So on heating to delta t, their length changes, so that again it resumes the same equilateral triangle and this distance remains constant. So this DC and this DC are equal. Equating and squaring on both sides, we get directly L square minus L square by 4 is equal to L square plus expanding 2L square alpha 2 delta t, sorry 2L, okay, 1 minute, you can write like this, L square into 1 plus 2 alpha 2 delta t plus alpha 2 square delta t square minus L square by 4 into 1 plus 2 alpha 1 delta t plus alpha 1 square delta t square. But actually alpha square will be in the order 10 to the power minus 6. So squaring means 10 to the power minus 12. So these two terms can be neglected. So we can directly write, so that L square plus L square into 2 alpha 2 delta t minus L square by 4 minus L square by 4 into 2 alpha 1 delta t. So L square minus L square by 4 term, these two terms gets cancelled. This implies L square into 2 alpha 2 delta t is equal to L square by 4 into 2 alpha 1 delta t. So L square again gets cancelled, 2 gets cancelled. So all delta t also gets cancelled. Alpha 2 is equal to alpha 1 by 4. So alpha 1 is 4 alpha 2. Now 197. Similar one actually. A compensated pendulum of clock consists of two isosceles triangular frame base length L, L1. It is given like this. A compound pendulum, compensated pendulum of base length L1, supported by two isosceles sides of length L2, like this. A pendulum is like this. These two are of length L2 and this is of length L1. So that this length remains constant. This particular length remains constant. Supported by the ratio, so that the length of the pendulum remains unconstant. You have to find the ratio of L1 by L2. And the expansions are, this one is alpha 1, this one is alpha 2. So similar to the earlier problem. So but here some minor differences. L1 square, L2 square minus L1 square by 4, you have to write like this, because this is L2 square, this is L1 square by 2 whole square, that is this length. So this equal to under root is equal to maintain the same distance, again you have to write like this, L2 square into 1 plus alpha 2 delta t whole square minus L1 square by 4 into 1 plus alpha 1 delta t whole square. So on squaring on both sides, you get L2 square minus L1 square by 4 is equal to L2 square expanding 1 plus 2 alpha 2 delta t, and neglecting alpha 2 square term directly, minus L1 square by 4 into 1 plus 2 alpha 1 delta t. Here also neglecting alpha square term. So, this equal to L2 square plus L2 square 2 alpha 2 delta t minus L1 square by 4 minus L1 square by 4 into 2 alpha 1 delta t. Okay, now this term will get cancelled with these two terms. So, here we can write this term is equal to this term. So, L2 square 2 alpha 2 delta t is equal to L1 square by 4 into 2 alpha 1 delta t. So, 2 alpha t also gets cancelled. So, here L2 square alpha 2 is equal to L1 square by 4 into alpha 1. We have to calculate L1 by L2. So, write like this, L1 by L2 whole square equal to 4 alpha 2 by alpha 1 is equal to L1 square by L2 square. But we have to calculate L1 by L2, that means taking square roots, implies L1 by L2 is equal to 2 into square root of alpha 2 by alpha 1.